So we have Randy from Calvary Mission Church, woohoo, California. Thank you for chiming in. And we have Paul. Paul is serving the Well English Ministry at the Full Gospel Korean Church in Houston. Paul, good to see you. And Joseph is our vice president, and Jason is our treasurer. Our secretary, Chris, will be joining you tomorrow. We're super excited. There's several others that are still chiming in. I see EK, come on in and tell us where you're chiming in from. Tell us your email address. Jenny, good to see you. We have Suki and Tommy as well. So please continue to invite them. I'm going to go ahead and share what's coming up in the couple of days. You probably saw this already. Okay, so this is our first day already. Stay in the know. We are ready to share some exciting resources with you about all these upcoming days. So take notes, because there's going to be transformative for your own personal leadership as well as for the ministry that you're engaged. So as leaders, you're going to need to grow. So we're going to share some resources that's going to help you grow so that you can help invest in your people so they can grow as well. So as leaders grow, your church grows, right? So once again, these are the faces of our awesome KEF officer. We've been together for a couple of years, but KEF has been in its foundation or beginning since 2018. So COVID halted us a little bit, but here we are. But in 2 days, guys, we're going to be nominating. We're going to be nominating and electing a new president and vice president. I'm going to drop in a link for nomination. I'm going to do a little quick announcement. Hey, if you are ordained minister with the Assemblies of God, or if you know somebody who is ordained with the Assemblies of God and you will love to see them elevate in their leadership and just continue to expand their influence, I want you to nominate them. In fact, you can nominate yourself if you're ready to serve. Why not, right? That's a perk. The only stipulation within the Assemblies of God is a vice president and president will have to be ordained minister with the Assemblies of God. So if you know that person, use that link in the chat and nominate them throughout our days together. We're going to remind you of that link in the coming days as well. But that was the first day. And then here is our second day tomorrow, which is super exciting. So Joe, our second treasurer, has actually recorded a panel speaking conversation. These are incredible ministers. As you can see, Dr. Joe Girdler is a superintendent of Kentucky Ministry Network. He's not on this panel because he is Jason's superintendent. Jason is from Kentucky. He's on here because I've seen his face from everywhere we go for ethnic diversity or inclusive ministry, all this ethnic language fellowship and ministry diversity, anything that has to do with diversity, Pastor Joe is there. And to be honest, I didn't even know he was a superintendent. You know, his superintendent is like, why, really up there. But he's such a approachable leader, very friendly. And so he has this really keen experiences and knowledge and the right passion at the right table. As the man in the position of influence, how is he using that to champion others? You know, because he's a superintendent, and also because Jason is ready to serve and equipped and ready to influence other ministers, he is serving in his district as a presbyter. So you could be that. So we're going to kind of peek into that conversation about what he's going to talk about. I'm going to actually ask Jason to talk about other two speakers. They're also a personal friend of mine, but just give us a snippet of what we can expect and look forward to on day 2.
It was a great time just getting to sit down with Pastor Joe and with Julie and Ken. So Julie is she's a leader. She's up in New York, and so she's been helping out with Cultural Intelligence Center. So she works for them, and she brings that to the table wherever she goes. Just a wealth of information on how to understand ourselves, how to understand others, and communicate clearly. It was a pleasure getting to hear from her, and I hope she gets to come and speak with us again and do some table talk kind of conversations with us. But then she also has been working with our French-speaking brothers and sisters and helping them to form a fellowship, an ethnic fellowship, or a language-speaking fellowship. So she has a wealth of information there and knowledge about how to connect people and connect with the General Assembly. So then Tang is the leader of the Hmong Fellowship. So he's been a pastor for many years, and so he's leading as a second gen pastor. And so he's spending a lot of his time mentoring younger pastors who are coming up. And so we picked his brain on the experiences that he's had, challenges that he's faced, and what he's found that's working with his young people, young pastors and leaders as they are coming alongside and partnering with them in kingdom building.
That's awesome.
Good.
We're super excited. There are actual champions that are championing other ministers currently. So I'm super excited. Hey, I'm going to just mention another people that are keep coming in. So thank you, Suki. You are from Murdoch from Promise Church, Queens, New York City. Yeah, let's go. And then Go Eun Nim, EK from Full Gospel Las Vegas Church, EM pastor. So glad to have you. And Jenny, she's not a stranger. She's actually one of the founding members of KEF. So good to see her at Michigan from Central Holland. Awesome to have you. So cool. And then the next day, the final day that we have is the live chat. Guys, you know Ben-Hur. I'm not talking about movie Ben-Hur. I know you probably weren't born when that movie came out. I wasn't either. But this Pastor Ben-Hur is actually the lead pastor where Joe is currently serving, but he's not here because of that, although that's pretty awesome in itself. He is one of the newly appointed or elected, I should say, executive presbyter. So we have a couple hundred people of general presbyter, and above that are the eldership, the governing body of executive presbyter, and that is Pastor Ben-Hur. We want you to come and talk about him, talking about how these three generations can work together. He used an analogy of an arrow, and I don't want to steal his idea, so I'm not going to tell you all about that, but he's using the narrative and analogy of an arrow to talk about three generations coming together and how we collaborate. I think that is such a timely message for Korean ministers, whatever context you're in, man, you can just use that and implement that right away. And you can also ask him some tough questions, right? And so you just need to comment it and we're going to read it so there's no wrong questions. So feel free to ask any questions you have to Pastor Ben-Hur, and that is going to be super exciting. Well, you guys do know, and if you don't know, our General Superintendent, Assemblies of God. And so if you're new to the Assemblies of God, General Superintendent is like a pope of the Assemblies of God, right? So he has a short message of greetings for us, and I do want to turn your attention to that. Please give me a thumbs up if you see. I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I don't want to ruin the surprise for you. Okay, there you go. I do want to share this. Okay, this is a greetings from our General Superintendent. Enjoy.
Hey, Pastor Josh, and all of my friends in the Korean English Fellowship, Doug Clay here. It's a privilege to be joining this virtual conference. What a creative idea. What a missionally fruitful idea to bring everybody together through this means. I am very grateful for the kingdom impact that the Korean English Fellowship is having. And many of you are tethered to a local church, which is critical for me because I do believe that the church is God's primary instrument that he's using to advance the kingdom of God here and around the world. And your involvement in a local church is really significant for kingdom and gospel advancement. Thank you for the part that you play in building a Bible-engaged, Spirit-empowered, missions participating church that not only impacts where you're locally planted, but impacts the world. So I pray that during this conference, there will be teachings and times of inspiration that really stir up the gift inside of you to become all that God has created you to be and to do as a part of kingdom agents. We love you, we're excited, and believe that this will be the first of many virtual conferences that help grow the Korean English Fellowship. God bless you.
We love Pastor Doug. He is so awesome. And if you did not know, he is actually a real champion for ethnic minister, and he's so approachable.
Hey, Pastor Josh,
oops, He actually came and joined one of our in-person conference in New Jersey a couple of years ago. Was it last year, 2 years ago? I can't even remember. I can keep time. 2 years ago. And if you were there, you will know that he is not one of those people like you will say, "Oh, please come." You know, he doesn't put himself on a pedestal. He's such an approachable minister, which is why we felt like it was so valuable for you to meet him so that we can replicate that kind of leadership. You know how it is like in a Korean culture, the hierarchy matters. Yes, but to what point? So there's so much that we can learn from leaders like him. And so I wanted to introduce him to you. But one more greetings from our actually national director from the ethnic relations. I don't know if you knew this, but there are 24 ethnic language fellowships in the Assemblies of God. We are one of those 24 fellowships. It functions like districts in that we serve local ministers and credential ministers, but we're flexible in that we are not just serving the AG constituents. We serve people beyond that, anybody who is in the evangelical Christendom. So we serve those people. What I do love about this group is one of those 24 ethnic fellowship is actually a deaf community. So I get to meet with some of those community members once a month and we communicate through the interpreter. It's such a beautiful community. I hope that I can learn the sign language one day, but we also have a greeting from Dennis Rivera, who is the national national director of the ethnic language fellowship. Let me get it together. Okay. Okay. Let me see if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? All right, thumbs up. All right, here's a greetings from him.
Greetings, Korean English Speaking Fellowship. I am Dennis Rivera from the Office of Ethnic Relations with the General Council of the Assemblies of God. It is my joy to greet you this evening, and I am praying that as you gather together for your 2024 conference over the next 3 evenings, that the Holy Spirit will direct all you do in worship, sharing God's word, and deliberating over any new ministry initiatives or strengthening the ministry endeavors your fellowship is strongly focused on currently. I want to thank the leadership of your fellowship, Sehi Duran, Joseph Kim, Christopher Jian, and Jason Wolf. Thank you for serving and connecting the next-gen English-speaking Korean churches together. Our nation needs a strong church in this hour, and God is raising up many multi-ethnic congregations who strongly value the foundation of prayer and intercession. May God use your fellowship in unity with each other to be a catalytic spark of a great spiritual awakening in the United States of America. Blessings to all.
Awesome. He is a lovely gentleman and we love him so much. He is a visionary and he loves championing people from all over the walks. Okay, I do see a couple more people joining, so I do want to give a shout out. And Jason, if you want to get ready to also give another reminder about what the giveaways are for today. And guys, the giveaways gets better and better every day. So please come back tomorrow and the day after that. I'm not putting my name in, so like I'm envious of you. Okay, so let's see who else is in here. We stop at Jenny. Sharona, I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Please forgive me. Okay, and then we do see Hyogyung coming in. So if you have not, please comment your name, which church you serve at, also which state or country you're chiming in from, and then your email address, because if you end up winning one of the giveaways, we want to make sure that you get it. Okay. So, okay, Jason, why don't you take it away and then just do another giveaway reminder, and then I will share some more information.
Perfect. Hey, just a reminder, we have a $25 DoorDash gift card that we're going to give away tonight, along with a $50 Amazon gift card and a starter package from Logos.
That's awesome. What about what is tonight? What's a big giveaway tonight?
Tonight is the starter package with Logos. That's a $300 value. Tomorrow we're giving away an iPad 10 and Apple Pencil. And then the last day, do you want the last day too?
Yeah.
The last day we're giving away a MacBook Air.
Wow. Okay. Somebody loves MacBook, right? That's awesome. We're super excited for that. Okay, so make sure that you put your name in that, and then as other people are keep chiming in, I'm gonna put the names at the end, very at the end. So we're gonna try that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share some more information. So we are part of the Assemblies of God, meaning that we are a very egalitarian denomination. Most of you guys are very familiar with that. And so we are very pro young minister. So under 40 ministers is very heavy and dear to our executive leadership and national leaders' heart, but also women in ministry is part of that. This organization, Network of Women Minister, started in 1999 under the leadership of Dr. George Wood. He's now the late Dr. George Wood, one of the pioneering ministers who started inviting the minorities into the executive leadership. Remember, we talked about Pastor Ben-Hur, who will be joining us on our third day. Without Dr. George Wood, people like him representing ethnic minority would have never had a seat at the table at that level at that time. But since 1999, he started to pave ways for people who had some voices and experiences he wanted to invite to the right table and learn from each other. You know, I don't know if you knew, but he was a missionary kid. He was an MK in China. So he knew the value of diversity. He knew the value of collaboration, and he knew the value of how to leverage his positional influence to invite others. Hey, you may be the one who's sitting at that table, inviting those people to your seat and different seat at the table. So I want to talk a little bit about this. I have been part of this Network of Women Ministers. That's a national ministry since 2018. We recently had a change since then of the national director. Now is Dr. Melissa Alfaro, who represents ordained women ministers at the executive level leadership as well. And she was actually, prior to that role in the executive presbytery, she was under 40 representative. And so she is amazing. And her husband actually became a superintendent in her district as well. So this is a power couple. Now she's a new director. But prior to that, I've been part of this thing. And since 2018, we've been building this ministry up. We are not, as Assemblies of God, we're not new to women in ministry, but the movement and the conversation has been taking very fast pace when we put some intentionality behind it. So our vision is all about putting ministers that are called to the vocation of ministry, both men and women, we serve together so that they can fulfill their ministerial calling at all levels of leadership. From the bottom, from the volunteer level, all the way to lead pastor, church planter, national leader, executive national leader. We just believe that there's no cap for both men and women because the calling shows no favoritism in gender or age. It's all about obedience. So who knows, guys, one of you could be the national leaders. One of you could be the district leaders. You can do that. And so this is specifically about women ministers. You can see that, and how we operate our vision and mission is through ACT. It's an acronym, ACT. We advocate, we collaborate, and we train. Very simple, but we act intentionally so that we can advocate people at the right place at the right time. And then we collaborate with not just women in district, but with men, because it's important. We are better together. The church, half of the church is men, half of the church is women. So it's just healthier and it's better when men and women work together. So that's how we collaborate and also diversify. And then now finally, train. We train in various forms of way. This is just a very simple way we're doing it, very small glimpse of it, but there's so many myriads of way that people can get training, which Joe in a bit will be talking about different ways that you can get yourself trained and your ministers and the disciples that are going to be future ministry leaders as well. What I want to kind of point to you is on this website, which you can explore that all over later on. But here are some of the things. Maybe you are a woman who are called to ministry recently, or maybe you have been called to ministry or even credentialed for a long time, but you just haven't connected with the right people. You just feel like you're all alone, or you don't feel like there's the people who understand you, or you don't know the resource to go to. Well, you're at the right place. Right here, you can just click the call resource. This is a PDF document, both in English and Spanish. when you click that, it's like a magazine, and maybe I can click and show it to you if it will show. It's a magazine, printable, and different topics, and it includes both men and women's voice. If it's a man, it's actually executive leaders, district leadership. So these are people that are experienced in discipling and training people that are called to vocational ministry. We also have a myriad of resources on books and other elements that you can read up on. We want to just give you the right resource. So, hey, if maybe you met somebody, that young lady in your church that are called to vocational ministry, but maybe you're a man, you don't know who to refer to. I'm like, oh, I know KEF, like go talk to Sehi. Maybe I may be the only person, or maybe you have somebody at your church and she may be the only person. We don't want that person, young person, to feel like I am the only one. In fact, can I tell you, one time I remember I was preaching at one of the AG universities. And after I preached, two young women of the ethnic diversity, the different non-Caucasian young lady, came up to the altar, and they were like in tears and said, I've never seen an Asian woman preach in our school before. And that spoke volume to them. And so that was such a great reminder of the power of visible example. So if you know some young woman called to vocational ministry, and if you feel like I don't know where to direct them, this is a place. This NWM website, nwm.ag.org, it's not just for women. It's for male ministers, leadership, executive leadership, ministry leader, lead pastor, church planters, because you're going to be working with women and you're going to disciple women. So this is a place that I want to direct you to. We also have incredible resources of a podcast. This is Crystal. She was the previous director, and that's me. We started building the podcast together. So if you go up there, you will see a lot of different resources. This season, 2024, we've been focusing on highlighting AG, Assemblies of God, Bible colleges. So at different colleges, they have a different representative that a credentialed woman minister, and they invite two student guests to talk about their calling and their journey as university students. They have so much wisdom, and I cannot tell you how wise they are. I wish I knew what they know now, like when I was in college, but they're so much wiser than I am, for sure. But there's so many different resources you can go back to and listen to. So every year, this is season 5, meaning there is a 5 years of resources. So there's so much resource. In fact, we just posted 100 episode for this podcast. So that means 100 videos that you can use as resource. What does that mean for you? If you have a young woman and men who's kind of struggling, I don't know if women ministry is a thing. I feel like that's not a really biblical. This is a great training resource. Maybe you can do a small group and show it to some youth, young adult group, play a video, have a discussion. What did you think about that? And this is a very easy access that's free to you, available. Another thing that you might be interested in, so there are 3 segments of a podcast. One is a Grow Together that is really focused on under 40 young minister. This is the one that we're focusing on college right now this season. And then we have Learn Together, which is about peer-to-peer talk. We talk about a lot of different hot topics. So you might be interested. We archived it because we started doing a Better Together conversation, which I would love to introduce it to you. Better Together conversation is all about doing side-by-side ministry, men and women together. This actually had been part of my dissertation for my doctorate degree, and you will see different things, biblical examples, historical example, and then now what can we do with that in our modern days. So it's very short, 4 podcasts, but you can kind of take a look at it. There's so many resources. As I was saying, Learn Together. Very first podcast is actually our superintendent. You saw the video of him moments ago. He comes on and speaks very boldly about women in ministry and how AG is all for it. So that's some of the information I wanted to share with you. One of the next one is Influence Magazine. See, if you're an Assemblies of God minister, you are probably already receiving this information in the mail. They send quarterly or biannually magazines, and you can thumb through. It's a great bathroom book, by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys like to read books anymore in the bathroom, but I enjoy that. It's great resources, all practical ministry, and some really good sound theology there as well. So you can also just Google any of the information you might have. In fact, if you're a writer and if you feel like you're an experienced minister who have something to contribute, I want to turn your attention to this Influence magazine. I have contributed several articles on this, and there's a small stipend, but I wasn't doing that for stipend. I was doing that for, again, visible demonstration, right? Visible example. There's power in that. They want to hear your voice. You might have some amazing wisdom and insight people really need to tap into, but they just don't know you. The best way to do is you can initiate that conversation. So just email your documents. Maybe you have a sermon, like a 4 or 5 point sermon thing that you can really turn it into a leadership influence guide or some sort of a practical document. Just edit a little bit, send it to influence@ag.org, and they're going to get back to you, and keep sending them, because the more you send it, more your voice will be featured. And they really want to hear from both young and old and everyone in between, from diverse backgrounds. Some of them are church planters, some of them are working in the university, some of them are Chi Alpha missionaries. They're just myriads of people from many different backgrounds. So just because maybe you're like, oh, well, I'm just a youth pastor. No, you're not just a youth pastor. You have something to offer, and you come from a Korean minister's perspective that's going to be transferable to other ethnic ministers. So we value it. They need it. AG needs to hear your voice. So if you have something to offer, I strongly encourage you to submit the article at influencemagazine@ag.org. And if you need us to give a little bit of a push, and say, hey, we strongly recommend, we can certainly do that for you. But that is a great resources that's free to you. And I'm going to pass the baton to Joe now for more information. But I'm going to pause for a second to see if there's any question that you might have. Tom, thank you so much for joining from Toronto, Canada. That's awesome. I love it. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to chime in, and then we're going to just continue to give a shout out to people as you come in. Joe.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph. I am the Vice President of KEF. I've been serving here for the past couple of years, and I'm also an ordained minister at Promise Church here in New York and New Jersey, more specifically on the Jersey side. I serve in multiple capacities, one being that I am the lead pastor of an English congregation. We are known as Promise International Fellowship, PIF, in New Jersey. And I also lead our education department, as in I pastor over and oversee our youth group, our elementary and lower, all the way through. So the opportunity that I have here tonight is I just wanted to just kind of share with you my experience as an Assemblies of God ordained minister, and some of the resources that I was able to obtain from various sources. And I just wanted to share that with you because as someone who's always grown up within the Korean American context, our resources, I like to think that it's very it's kind of in a bubble, and we don't get a chance to network too much. We don't get a chance to go beyond within our Korean American context. But I think when we connect with Assemblies of God nationally and as a whole, then there's so many opportunities for us to grab these resources to help us in our ministries. And before I go any further, just to let you know, this setting right now, it's kind of weird not seeing your faces on the screen and not hearing your voices and whatnot, but trusting that you guys are all there and trusting that that this will be good information. I hope this blesses you. So let me share my screen here first. I want to introduce you to our Assemblies of God website. Maybe some of you in this chat are very familiar with this website because you are part of our Assemblies of God denomination. Maybe perhaps some of you are not. But nevertheless, this website that we have here is extremely valuable because it provides so many different resources. And right away, depending on what area or what part of leadership you're involved in, maybe you're a lead pastor, maybe you're a youth pastor, or in different all sorts of different departments. But I want you to know that this website provides all different kinds of resources that could be helpful to you. Anything from devotionals for your personal spiritual formation and need. Um, let's say I know I've come to this website and looked at directories because I've had some members leave out of state to move elsewhere, and they were looking for a church and they asked me to recommend them. So I would look through here and find a church within our Assemblies of God directory and introduce them to a church near where they have moved. And as you can see here, there are so many other resources. And one in particular that I wanted to point out to you, because as a growing seminarian and also a growing pastor at a young age, this particular portion of the website was extremely helpful. And you go to beliefs and you click on position papers. We live right now in a culture and a society where there are so many topics that are thrown at us, and the church has a responsibility to respond to some of these matters from a biblical standpoint. It's if you Google things online, there are obviously many resources, but I like to think that if you are part of the Pentecostal charismatic, in particular Assemblies of God denomination, then here are a list of various topics and subject matters that I think could help you in approaching either a church member or a student or anyone else for that matter that has questions on these matters. These position papers were written in a very scholarly form, and it's extremely helpful in many ways. I've used many of these in a practical sense in my Bible studies and even in my preaching and in my sermon too. So I just want to kind of throw this out there to you guys so that if you ever run into issues at hand regarding issues of alcohol or maybe issues about healing, whether there are many people, some people that believe that the gifts of healing has ceased. This provides answers to that. We live in a culture right now where LGBTQ, just the whole movement has become very rampant and it's all over and it's a hot topic within the church. Also, our position paper here about homosexuality, marriage, and sexual identity dives into that and provides biblical response to those matters and so much more, as you can see. So I want to just encourage you in going to our AG website, which is ag.org, going to beliefs and clicking on position papers to find this. Now, with that said, I was ordained just about 3 years ago. I've been part of AG pretty much my entire life, but I took my sweet time in getting ordained. And after getting ordained, about 3 to 4 years ago, I first participated in this thing called the General Council. And if you've been to General Council, you know how amazing this is. But un until the church allowed me to participate and actually go, I had no idea how enormous. I had no idea how amazing this denomination, Assemblies of God, was. And General Council is basically a time that happens once every 2 years, where all the ministers are called upon to come and gather together, and we there are a lot of business that happens for a few days that we're gathered, but there's so much more than just business. There's worship that happens on a nightly basis. There's a breakout sessions all throughout. There are ethnic groups that meet. There are women's ministry that meet. We have a youth group that meet. And can I tell you, the youth alone, from my memory, are over 10,000 students that come all over the nation to come and worship. And it's incredible. Not only that, we have fine arts. If you're not familiar with that, man, I highly encourage you to get involved in that too, because AG has this program where young people are called upon to participate in fine arts where they can promote their talents and gifts for the glory of God. So when you come during General Council, you'll see hundreds and thousands of students just spread out at this expo where they're just like practicing dances, They're practicing skits and dramas and all sorts of amazing stuff. And they're the most incredibly talented young people you'll meet. So there's that. And I bring this to you because General Council is coming up next year. And for those of you that are part of the Assemblies of God, number one, I want to highly encourage you to come out every 2 years. And secondly, if you're just kind of on the fence about, yeah, I'm not really sure like whether I want to be certified, licensed, ordained or not, I want to highly encourage you to participate in this because General Council is so much more than all the things that I've mentioned. I think at the heart of it, there's networking that is so vital as ministers, where you can connect with different people all around, and you get to meet numerous people that you could share your struggles with, you can get ideas from, and there's just so many opportunities through General Council. So just if you get a chance, take a look. We would love to have you come and participate. I know I'm going to be there. I know everyone here in this, our officers of KEF, we're going to be there. So I just wanted to encourage you to participate in that. It's going to be on August 4th through 8th. Next year, it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. I think we're going to be in Orlando for a handful of years from this point forward, but it's pretty amazing. So before I go on to the next one, let me slow down. Let me pause here. And I know we're tight on time. I know we mentioned we're going to be only online for an hour, but can I just ask, are there any thoughts or from our panelists or from our officers? Do you guys have anything you want to add about the General Council?
Yes, absolutely. Like just a couple of years ago, I recall going there many times and me being the only like Asian there. And then in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot more people coming and they're actually participating. They're staying in the businesses and they are participating in different things as pastors and bringing in different youth. I've also traveled and saw how incredibly talented our Korean youth are. And I know if our youth go there, we're gonna win some trophies, and I know we're gonna win some titles. But they're hidden, and we don't want them to be hidden. And these winning titles, they are also tied directly to the scholarships to a lot of our AG schools. So you may be unintentionally robbing of your students of opportunity to make money for going to college. And so we want to encourage you to do that. And speaking on the being ordained too, if you're licensed or certified, please pursue ordination as your yes to God all the way, because otherwise you will not be at the right opportunity to cast a vote and let your voice be heard. So that's an encouragement to you.
Say, there's been a question that was raised here from Paul. He asked, do you have to be licensed with AG in order to attend General Council?
Not at all. No, you can certainly attend as just participant and attendee. You will just not be able to vote. Other than that, you can participate in a lot of different things. In fact, if you want to chime in different meetings as what is it called? There's a word for like sitting in and observing.
Auditor.
What is it? Auditing. If you want to be an auditor, if you let us know, we can make a case and invite you as a special guest to sit in for that certain event, because we want you to experience it. But yeah, you can experience everything that there is. It's not just the business, it's a whole experience plus resources. They sell a lot of great resources that are not just AG thing either. So think about a big fair where you like ministry fair and expo you can walk into. Great answer, great question. Thank you, Paul.
In addition to that, we have Harold here. He's informing us, at least from the past, that Youth Festival, the fine arts, is divided into districts and have to qualify in each district. And I believe that is the case still today, correct?
It is true. And that's where we come in. If you're not connected to your district, and if you would like to, in fact, if you would like to get into the national director of the fine arts, so he can kind of advocate for you even for the district, we can certainly be that bridge. We've already done that for a couple of churches here. So if your church wants to get involved with the district, please contact us and we'll be happy to network and build that bridge for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. With that said, I want to just kind of continue forward real quickly and mention two more things. Number one, because I am a pastor that oversee the education department at our church, overseeing the youth group, children, and below, Assemblies of God has this incredible national conference known as Next Generation Leadership Conference. This one in particular that I'm showing you through this website is from this past year. It has already come and gone. I participated alongside with my education pastors here in New Jersey Promise, and it was this incredible event. If there's anybody here that's part of this next generation ministry, I highly encourage you to come and participate. Next Gen happens every 2 years as well, but it's in the off year of General Council because 2024 was the Next Gen, 25 is General Council, 26 will be Next Gen, and you see the pattern. And they're incredible sessions. And if you see this website, you could already see some of the awesome guests that we've had. We had John Lindell come from James River, if I'm not mistaken, one of the bigger churches there in Midwest. We had I don't know if you guys know Jeff Deo. I might be aging myself here, but he used to be the front man for Sonic Flood back in the day. He's part of Assemblies of God. I believe he's a professor now, and he's also still continuing to lead worship. And he led worship throughout the entire event. And I just totally geeked out as a young man who grew up listening to him and Sonic Flood, got his signature and took picture with him and everything. But nevertheless, there was some incredible stuff from our masterclass. We had speakers with breakout sessions, and it was just a all around awesome event that me and the youth pastors and children's pastors were able to participate in this past year. And I want you guys to also know, if you get connected to our Assemblies of God denomination, there are functions like this, not just on a national scale, but also on a district and a local scale. So for me, I live here in New Jersey, and we have a New Jersey Next Gen conference very often every year. As a matter of fact, this coming Saturday on October the 5th, on the Jersey side, it's called Next Gen Blueprint. And Jay Mooney, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's one of the bigger pastors in the Assemblies of God. He's coming as a guest speaker. And I believe someone like Pastor Tommy, who is in this group, he's one of the education pastors of Promise. And also this year, we're bringing in staff and our teachers along with us to go to this local Next Gen Blueprint conference to learn and to have conversations and also to network with other local pastors. So it's just this great opportunity that we have all throughout. And once you get involved and once you just kind of tap into it, you'll get emails, you'll get updates, and you'll just find numerous opportunities for yourself where you can get these resources. Something that I know that lacked tremendously for me growing up in a bubble of a Korean American church. With that said, last but not least, this is an extra program called and I want to give it up to Hey to explain a little further regarding this.
Yes, this is a national initiative from the General Superintendent, which we heard his greeting. It's his passion about discipling the next generation of those that are called to vocational ministry. We've observed the years of the statistics where the people who are called to ministry has been decreasing a little bit. And there's a little bit of concern because the future of the church, we need to have good ministers for that, right? The end time is coming, but we need to have strong ministry leaders. So he kind of initiated a national movement. It's called conferences. And here's some amazing that I'm observing. So I work at one of the AG schools here, and I collaborate with different districts for different youth events. I am noticing, guys, and this is something you can do. Several different districts, they collaborate to have one called conference. So sometimes they replace a youth conference with the call conference to bring freshness, but really be intentional about calling students to vocational ministry. And so this is really amazing because it saves you resources and people, human resources, financial resources, and a lot of different things, but also build that momentum. Can you imagine like 2, 3, 4 churches in this conversation alone will collaborate and you have one gigantic youth convention, youth camp, or youth conference? It's going to be tremendous. It's going to make waves, and that's kind of what is happening. We do have a national director that's appointed to that. They have some resources there. Once again, if you want to be part of this and you want to say, hey, I would like to do a call conference, I have passion for students that are called to vocational ministry, but I lack resources, start a conversation in this group, see what you guys can do to collaborate, and we will help you to connect with the national ministry director as well. We're all here to support and resource you. So thank you for ending with that great resource. Last but not least, you're waiting for Jason because he's the guy with monies and gifts, right? But he also does have one extra resource he wants to share with you that's going to help bless your whole congregation from cradle to grave. Okay, Jason.
Hey, so thank you. So my name is Jason. I'm a family life pastor here in Kentucky. So I work at Christ Chapel Assembly of God. Like Joe, I've grown up in the church, but like I've just recently gotten more connected, and part of that has been just the opportunity to serve here with the KEF. There have been a lot of opportunities that have been given to me to connect deeper and build stronger relationships with our local district, and then also with our general counsel. So happy to present here and share some of those resources that are coming out. He just talked about the Next Gen Conference, and one of the things that we heard several years ago was the Bible Engagement Project. That was something that was Rick DeBose. He's our assistant superintendent now. It was one of his pet projects, and it's a great resource. It just became a free resource within the last year or so, and we started using this at our church. We're a mid-sized church. We work with children and families, and so we wanted to try this out, and it's gone really well so far. It's got tons of resources for the whole family, and I'm going to show you a quick video to present some of that information. It's about 3 minutes here. Just a moment.
In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Bible Engagement Project app and some of the key features. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to walk you through the app on my phone, but we also have a web app available. From the web app, you can download and print all your resources, and for those who don't have a smart device, the web app gives you the same opportunity to still access the Bible Engagement Project curriculum and utilize all the great features of the app right from your computer. In a previous video, we walked through the process of downloading the app and creating a free account. If you haven't already done that, it may be good to pause and do that now so that you can follow along on your device. Before I walk you through some of the key features of the app, I think it's important to answer the question, who actually needs to download the app and create an account? For the preschool and kids curriculum, we recommend that anyone teaching the curriculum should download the app and create an account. We also recommend any parent, grandparent, or guardian also create an account to have access to the family devotions. The family devotions coordinate with each preschool and kids lesson, so it's a great way to empower families to disciple kids at home. For the youth and adult small group curriculum, we recommend that both the small group leaders and group attendees create an account and download the app. This will allow them to follow along with the content and work through the personal devotions throughout the week. All right, so let's walk through some of the key features of the app. The first icon in the bottom navigation bar is your home dashboard. The dashboard allows you to easily access the resources you're currently using, track your progress, and personalize the experience just for you. At the top of this screen, you'll see a set of icons. You can actually access these options from any screen, not just the home dashboard. The first icon takes you to the in-app messaging feature, where you can chat and stay connected with others in your group. It also notifies you of any unread messages you have. The final icon opens the account settings menu, where you can edit your profile and app settings, access the About and Help screens, contact our support team, and sign out of your account. Coming back to the navigation bar, the second icon is your library. The library holds all the available resources, preschool and kids curriculum, youth and adult small group studies, and family devotions. And all these resources are available in both English and Spanish. Okay, the third icon in the navigation bar is your Bible. Here you can access the entire Bible, which is great because you don't need to jump between different apps to access your curriculum and Bible since it's all located in the same app. There are also multiple translations available, so you can engage with scripture in the version you prefer. So, moving on from the Bible section brings us to the fourth icon in your navigation bar, your notes. Throughout the small group curriculum, leaders and group members can take notes, answer reflection questions, or add comments. And all of those notes are saved and compiled here within the Notes tab. The final icon in the navigation bar is Groups. This is where you can create a group and invite others to join you. You can also stay connected to your group in the in-app messaging feature. So that gives you a quick walkthrough of the app and some of the features. And as I mentioned previously, you can also access all of these same resources online through the web version of the app. Make sure to check out the next video, where we will dive deeper and take a closer look at the dashboard.
We haven't seen how bad this is going to get yet. I mean, everybody's talking
Yeah,
about
you
the
haven't seen how bad it's gonna get. That was
All right.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, I would highly recommend this. We've really loved getting to go through that curriculum together. We're doing the Listen curriculum right now. It's just a walk through the Bible. It's all the stories that you would want to share with your young people to build a foundation of faith, and it builds the connective tissue week to week, from story to story, weaving it through to show like the story of God and the history of humanity. We've really enjoyed that. Our pastor had decided to do a similar series in his Sunday morning series. So there's a perfect opportunity to partner and to walk our kids through that same thing. One of the other curriculums that we looked at that they were looking at, or that they have available right now, is the Learn curriculum that walks you through the fundamentals of the Assemblies of God. So those position papers that Joe was talking about a little bit ago. So it's presenting those to your church in lessons at all different age levels. And so it's a great resource to connect your church all together as a whole, allows your families to go home and talk about these things. And they've all approached them at their level, their age level, but they may get to connect with that and use those family devotions at home. So it's a really great resource. I would highly recommend it. It puts the all these things in the pocket of your congregation members. So it's really easily accessible and very communicative. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. We've actually used this app when I was pastoring a small church. And so on Wednesday night, we'll walk through that. It gives you a teaching guide. It gives you a video. It gives even questions, discussion questions. So it's already ready. And the best part is it used to be subscription based, but now it's free. So it's super cool. A little bit of fun story. My family was able to be part of one of the earlier video series because we lived in town at that time. And boy, my daughter got stipends. So I want you to know there was no free child labor in this project. They paid her adequately. Maybe we volunteer hours as parents, but she got paid. And so it was pretty awesome experience for her to be in that. And so that's pretty a little bit of fun for you to find somebody that might be familiar to you. But here, that is free to you. And we've been talking a lot about AG resources. And first of all, we believe what we are, who we are. And it's a really healthy, we're not perfect by any means. It's any function, any family, any marriage, we're dysfunctional in some ways, but I think we got some core things right. So we want to share with you. And if you're not part of the AG group, please don't misunderstand. We're not saying that AG is better than, we're just saying that we have some great resources we want to share with that are free to you. We want to equip you and your ministry and your church. So please feel free to check it out. And here, I'm going to send another link. Once again, it's a reminder. We are doing election on Thursday. So on our third day, after our live chat Q&A with Pastor Ben-Hur, we're gonna be electing new president and vice president. If you know anybody who is ordained minister in the Assemblies of God, please go to that link and nominate, and we would love to connect with them and then cast a vote. you know, all these leadership, we planned this conference, and I hope you're enjoying that. We forgot that tomorrow is Wednesday and that we are ministers. So, but we're still having our time at 7 p.m. And so I don't know what your ministry involvement is, but hey, if you really enjoyed this and if it was value add to you, we want to welcome you back. We still have some big giveaways to give away to you. Here is a quick link for tomorrow. So it's a different link from what you had today. So please go ahead and copy, and it's also in your email. And that's probably why you are in this conversation anyways, but that's a reminder for you. There's a link in the passcode for tomorrow. So here we are, 3 minutes left to this. And I know this is a moment of truth, isn't it? I am excited to see who's going to win. So some of you guys been so kind enough to just decline and say, hey, remove my name. And so, but the rest of you, I kept your name here. So let's see who's gonna win. Okay. Jason, what are we selecting winner for right now?
DoorDash gift card for $25.
Okay. And before I do this, I'm gonna just give a quick second, make sure your name is on it. I'm pretty sure I got everybody's name. Okay. If it's not
I think
on,
I think you could remove my name from there, allowing
how?
for our
Oh,
attendees to participate. I
okay.
jokingly said to put me in there. You actually put me in there.
Yes, because I want my brother to win. Okay, he voluntarily removed himself with peer pressure, so that's good. Okay, I think we have everybody. All right. Okay, let's see. Who's gonna win that gift certificate? Sharon, woo, in Houston.
Congratulations.
That's great. Exciting. So Sharon, I think you did give us your email. So Jason's going to go through that and make sure he reaches out to you. I'm going to remove your name. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be entered to win the big gift tomorrow or the day after, but your name is removed. Now the rest of you, keep your hopes up high. Let's see who's going to win. Randy! Oh my gosh! Is it Randy or Tom? Oh my gosh, it's Tom! Congratulations, Randy. Tomorrow, okay, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I thought it was Randy. I guess it's too soon. Okay, Tom, there you go. That is, you won what? What did you? Oh, Randy, sad face. I am so sorry. I should have just kept quiet, right? Anyways, Tom, you are not going to be entered into winning the big gift or the gift card tomorrow or the day after, but that doesn't mean you cannot join, right? Just because you want to, you're not going to just ditch us, are you? So I know you're going to be in, but I know Sharon won a gift card. That means your name will remain for tomorrow's drawing as well. So whoever wins the big giveaway, yes, Jason.
Actually, Tom would still be in. He's gonna get an Amazon gift card. We have one more drawing that we can do.
Oh, guys, look at this. What great news. Okay, Randy. Let's do one more drawing. One more drawing. Yes, Tommy, congratulations. So Tommy, your name will be removed because you won the big gift. Congratulations. What did he win again?
He won the Logos starter package.
Wow, you're going to be a great scholar. Guys, if you don't know what Logos is, it's kind of like a virtual encyclopedia for Bible studies. So the biblical languages, Greek and Hebrew, and all of that. And so congratulations. That means more awesome preachings coming out of you pretty soon. So that's cool. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's at the top of the hour. We don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be. I know tomorrow is Wednesday, but if you can, we would love to have you back here again and hear this amazing conversation we have with 3 amazing guests that are championing for you. So thank you, guys. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Yes, Jason.
Will you do me a quick favor? I'm grabbing before I lose it, I just want to grab the email addresses from the chat.
You could
Okay.
send Tommy's
Um,
winnings my way, and then I'll figure out a way to forward it to him.
that's what I thought. All right.
Sure. Yes, we trust you. Yes, we do.
And
trust-
that
Yes.
Tom Lee from Canada. All right. Here we
Wow,
go.
that's
All right.
exciting,
I will
guys.
get those sent through, everybody. We'll get
All
those
right.
shortly.
Well, thank you so much for joining again, guys. Hope you had a great time. God bless you.